All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for yet another Sakamoto Days volume read through. Let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another live reading of Sakamoto Days. Today, we are going to be going through volume 7 of the series titled I Got This. Now, to give a little recap of what happened in the last volume, Slur, aka X, who we later found out whose name is called Uzuki, along with a person named Gaku, make their way towards the JAA agency building, and they just start massacring people. But all of this happens before we see the end of Minimalist, who gets killed by Nagumo. Then we have Apart, who's defeated by Sakamoto, and he actually has an actual people social moment because he was raised with the mentality of, like, I need to cut people apart in order to see what's inside of them and to understand. And he's there with Sakamoto, Shin, and Lu, and Heisuke, and the rest of the family, and this is his first actual moment of actual human camaraderie. So now his whole perspective has changed, and he's with Sakamoto. But Sakamoto and company get to the JAA building, and while Apart tries to defend himself, he winds up having his arm sliced off, one of his arms sliced off by X. And Sakamoto stays behind and tells them, I believe it's Shin and Apart, to go on ahead, since the whole place is being raided right now, so he can fight Uzuki, aka Slur, aka X. And then we have Gaku, who's, massacring people downstairs, until he runs into Takamura, who is a member of the Order. The old man that mumbles to himself, but also has crazy insane swordsman levels of combat skill. Yeah, Gaku's facing off against him. So, let's see what happens with Volume 7. Now, the chapters we're going to be going through today are chapters 53 all the way down to 61. Days 53. No way. And this has Shin and Apart right behind Sakamoto. And then we have Slur speaking. We have X speaking. For the time being, I'll probably just continue to refer to him as X, simply because that's the name he first came up with. We first seen of him, even though we later found out his name is Uzuki. I'm just going to refer to him as X. So X says, "What's wrong? Hurry up and come at me. When we waste time, we waste our lives." Not to mention, X managed to stab Sakamoto directly into his chest, and now Sakamoto is bleeding from his chest, which is the first time we actually see Sakamoto suffering a major wound like this. And I say major, I use the term major very loosely. But he goes, "What's wrong? Hurry up and come at me. When we waste time, we waste our lives." And Sakamoto isn't saying anything as blood still continues to pour out of him. "Mr. Sakamoto!" And Apart is still reeling for the fact that he just lost his left arm. And then we have Uda, who is a person that works with X right now. He goes, "Shall I take care of them, boss?" "No, that's all right. You've been working so many days straight without any time off. Besides, this is kind of fun. Like a class reunion or something. Hey, Sakamoto, don't you want to kill me again?" And as he says this, Sakamoto's looking, and then X is no longer in the space where he was standing. You just see the impact cloud of him moving quickly. Nope, that was not. I'm sorry, I looked at it wrong. It was not X who moved quickly. It was Sakamoto, as he's now right behind X. And he goes to get him in the neck. But all of a sudden, X is no longer in front of him. And mind you, Sakamoto is inhumanly fast. He is superhumanly fast. And then X just disappears from in front of him with his back turned. And he's behind Sakamoto, still with his back turned. You remind me of how I once was. You remind me of how I was before. So naive and annoying. and he proceeds to slash into Sakamoto. He proceeds to do something to Sakamoto with such extreme force, you see like an impact circle around the ground, and then this big impact hits Sakamoto directly in his chest. And this surprises Sakamoto and Shin. What just? Guys who don't go all out end up bringing misfortune to everyone around them. Epitomize invisible killing spirit. Isn't that what the JCC teaches? I wasn't a star student like you guys, but after graduation, I finally figured something out. You don't need a heart to kill. And then it cuts to Shin, who starts running. It cuts to Shin, who starts running up to X. Ah! And before Shin can get even further, X proceeds to grab him with his reverse hand by the shoulder, and then it looks like he just slashes Shin all of a sudden as he goes, like this, for example. And there's a slash of blood, but, Shin got grabbed by Sakamoto before X could kill him. Oh my. Mr. Sakamoto, you're bleeding! I'm sorry, it's my fault! And Sakamoto grabbed not only Shin, but he grabbed a part as well, and he's halfway down the hallway where they're fighting it right now. Look, boy, instead of apologizing, you should just off yourself. Isn't that right, Sakamoto? At this rate, both you and the kids will die too. Your skills haven't eroded to the point that you don't get that, right? There's only one option. Come at me with the intent to kill. I'm not an assassin anymore. If you let me live, someone else will die. I understand you have a daughter, Sakamoto. And then Sakamoto, in one of those rare moments where you see anger veins start to appear from underneath his glasses. One of the worst things you could possibly do is threaten a man's family. And then all of a sudden, we see multiple stab wounds all over X. And he's looking down, and it's just like, what, killing it? Okay. It stopped for a quick second. We're good. We are good. But X goes, what killing intent? Here it comes. And it shows Sakamoto, and then it shows speed lines as it goes from like a first-person perspective, and then it shows X. And it cuts to Sakamoto, who looks like he tried to slash in the direction. No, he didn't. He ran and he tried to punch where X was, and he just imploded the entire ground. Welcome back, Taro Sakamoto. Don't blow it this time. And Sakamoto is shown with like anger veins around his face, and then Shin goes, Mr. Sakamoto! And then it cuts to a shot of Aoi, Hana, Lu, and Shin, and then Sakamoto just takes a gasp. And then Gaku comes sailing in out of nowhere. He comes sailing in through a wall out of nowhere going, no way. Huh? And Sakamoto's looking at him. Then we have X. Just when it was getting good. Forget it. Nobody told me about that freaky old guy. And then it cuts to a door. It cuts to a door at the end of the hallway. And a sword just pierces through the door. And then the sword just casually goes down to the latch of the door, which allows it to open. And then we know who this is. And then someone holding the sword opens the door. And it's Takamura. And he's still muttering to himself. Takamura is after Gaku. Gaku's all like, nah, I'm good. But Takamura has entered into the scene. And that's the end of chapter 53. Oh boy, okay. Days 54. I got this. And it begins with Takamura just walking into the room. You know, sword still in the door that he used to open. Sakamoto's looking, then we have X and his crew, and Takamura is muttering to himself. And then X goes, Uda, on it. And Uda takes out a gun and he shoots, and Takamura easily not only blocks the shots, but he slices the bullets in half so they go flying in 4 different pieces. Uda shot twice, but Takamura slashed and blocked it, and it separated. And then it cuts to Uda, who's right behind Takamura. But all of a sudden, Uda's finger, along with a part of the trigger, gets sliced off by Takamura, who then proceeds to slice Uda directly into his throat in one swift motion. Just sliced off the trigger finger, and he sliced off the trigger, and he sliced off the finger, and he cut him directly in the throat. Then Gaku comes sailing in, and he tries to, use what's remaining of his once whole mallet that had like a shotgun blast built into it. He tries jabbing into Takamura, and Takamura effortlessly slices off his entire right arm. And then Gaku, seeing his own arm, he goes, "Don't need this." And he proceeds to spin around and kick his once dismembered arm directly back at Takamura, which Takamura blocks. And then as he stops, it looks like, are there cracks in his sword? It looks like there's cracks in Takamura's sword, like there's fault lines on it now. And then it shows Gaku's face, and then Takamura's face. And then X proceeds to grab Gaku by the neck immediately and goes, "Let's go, Gaku." Oh, because Takamura slices apart the entire hallway. Not only that, but Sakamoto grabs Shin and pushes him back to keep from getting caught up in between this slash by Takamura as well. "Ugh, this battle is insane." "Show us your stuff, boss." "Give me a break." And Sakamoto is looking as X tries to get away with Gaku. And then he gets directly in front of X's face and goes, "Wait, you're not going anywhere." "It was good seeing you, Sakamoto." And as Sakamoto tries to go and hit him directly in the face, X proceeds to stab him multiple times, causing Sakamoto to kind of cough up a little bit of blood. "Later." But as X is saying this, Takamura jumps on a railing right behind X and is preparing to slash at X. And then X looks and goes, "Sorry to ask this of you, Uda." "No worries." As Uda comes up right next to Takamura, and pulls on his tie. Like he's holding on to Takamura, and he's pulling on his tie, and then a light starts to flash from his tie as he goes, "I got this." And then the light starts to envelop both Uda. Is he going to blow himself up? Is this like an explosion tie? What is this? Why is there light coming from him? He pulls on his tie, light starts to come from him, and then it shows the light lit up face of Takamura, the lit up face of Sakamoto, the lit up face of Shin, and the entire building where they are, like the entire floor where they are, just implodes immediately. And Shin all of a sudden has an apron in front of his face, and then it shows Sakamoto, it shows Takamura, it shows all of this massive destruction. And then the dust settles, and Shin starts to get up. "Oh, Mr. Sakamoto! I'm so sorry! You sacrificed your apron for me!" "I'm okay." And then something falls to the ground. Behind Shin, and it looks like a small knife, and Shin hears it. And then it cuts to X, who's apparently standing behind Sakamoto. And he doesn't say, and he's saying something, but we can't make out what it is. And then Sakamoto goes, "You." And then it gets to Gaku, who goes, "Boss, let's get out of here." And then X just smiles and then leaves. Dang, hard to walk with only one arm. And and then both Gaku and X just disappear into the smoke. They're gone? And it just shows the destruction of Uda basically blowing himself up, trying to kill everybody else. And then we get narration. September, unknown date in the year 2000 and unknown. 176 dead, 3 injured, 1 missing. Half a year after the onset of Slur's assassin purge, the number of professional assassins in Japan dropped to 1/4. And that's the end of chapter 54. Wow. Okay, let's see what happens in chapter 55. Days 55. Break. New Year's shrine visit. Oh, it's wintertime. And we got Lu, Shin, and Sakamoto.
It's cold.
Well, we survived another year.
And also, the shrine visit is the exact same place with Miss Osaragi was fighting Dump. So it has a sign in the background that says under repair.
Let's pay a tribute to the shrine.
It sure is crowded.
And then Sakamoto, who flexes his arm and is holding a coin in his hand, goes, "Here's fine."
Huh?
And then Sakamoto just flicks the coin from the back of the line. They're a far distance away from the front of the shrine. Sakamoto just casually flicks a coin in that direction, and it lands perfectly in the distance.
Whoa!
Let's go. Tribute paid.
You threw it?
That's bad karma.
And then we cut to another building. We cut back to the JAA building. Several days after the attack on the JAA. Ikoraizaka Hospital. And we cut to the hospital. Not only that, but we also cut to like a news anchor who's covering the destruction of the tower that, a part was fighting Sakamoto in, and also one that Takamoto also sliced to keep it from falling onto people.
Throngs of visitors have been flocking to see Tokyo's newest attraction, the Leaning Tower.
And it cuts to Sakamoto, who suddenly has a bandage on his head. Wait, he has a bandage on his head? Is this what happened if this is wait a minute. If Sakamoto has a bandage on his head and he's in a hospital. And then it has some elderly people walking into the room going, "Taro, would you like a daifuku mochi?" "Yes, please."
His body looks like a daifuku mochi.
"Mr. Sakamoto, you're eating too much." And they're apparently in the hospital. So I guess this new year shrine visit was before all of this went down. If this is what it's trying to tell me, yeah, I think was like before it all went down. This was like in the new year when it started. And now we see them in the hospital after the attack on the JAA. "Mr. Sakamoto, you're eating too much." And it has Sakamoto just in a hospital bed, chilling, while Shin is looking in.
Ugh, I can't do it. How can I show my face in front of Mr. Sakamoto after what happened?
Are you lost? And Shin has a basket full of expensive fruit. And then Shin is just left with thoughts from what X said to him. "You should just off yourself."
I thought I'd gotten a bit stronger battling the serial killers, but at the JAA I was nothing but a burden. Ah! The least I can do is give him this fruit basket and leave.
And then 2 individuals show up.
Huh?
Why are you tagging along? You just get in a fight if I let you go along, Hio. Yo, it's Hio, and it's Nagumo. Nice work the other day. How are you feeling, Sakamoto? Yep, it's Hio and Nagumo, members of the Order. Nagumo and Hio, what do you want? Now, don't be like that. Can't we visit our friend in the hospital? Let's cut to the chase. Sakamoto, I understand you had contact with X. Yeah, I did. Nagumo, X is Uzuki. And Nagumo's eyes kinda go blank a little bit. Not just, solid as they are usually shown, but blank. Then, are you saying you failed to kill him that time? If that's supposed to be a joke, it's not funny. I don't follow. Who? Uzuki was one of the other students back when Sakamoto and I were trainees at the JCC. He didn't leave much of an impression. Huh. If he'd shown any promise as a student, I would have heard of him. In your class, the only names I was always hearing were Sakamoto, Nagumo, and Akeo. Mostly bad rumors in your case, of course. Really? Well, I didn't hear your name come up at all, Hio. I'll kill you! I was a late bloomer, okay? And Shin is just listening in on this conversation.
When Mr. Sakamoto was a JCC trainee?
Fine. If we know who he is, we can take it from here. See you, Sakamoto. We're going already? And Hio and Nagumo prepare to leave. And Sakamoto is silent. Wait. There's something I haven't told you. What? Let's make a deal. In return, you'll tell me what you order guys know about X. And then there's a slight twitching motion from Hio. And then there's a slashing motion from Hio as he attempts to kill Sakamoto. And he just completely demolishes his entire hospital bed with like a simple kick. Of course, Sakamoto jumped away, kind of unraveling some of his bandages in the process. Which, of course, shocks Shin. And Hio lays it out. Let's get one thing straight. The Order isn't your friend. You aren't an assassin anymore. I hear you have a family now. If you come poking your nose in this business and get yourself killed, who's gonna take care of your wife and daughter? I've never liked your attitude. You think you can just do whatever you want? I don't intend to die. Don't make assumptions. Shall I show you how outclassed you are? And it cuts to Sakamoto looking at Hio, and then we just see the speed blurred line of a fist as Sakamoto gets punched directly in the face and sent straight through a hospital room wall. You're a goner. It's only a matter of time. And Sakamoto just gets up because this is the brain scan room. What is it called? The medical term? It's abbreviated in some. It's not an IV scan. But in the room where people get brain scans, well, get scanned in general, and a patient is on a bed looking like, whoa. That may be, but I understand you have a daughter. And these are the thoughts of X telling this to him. I understand you have a daughter. There are times when a father can't back down. I need to protect my loved ones myself. Meaning you don't have faith in meaning you don't have faith in anyone else. That used to be true, but not anymore. And as he says this, Shin is right behind Hio, preparing to kick him directly in the back of Hio's head. And Hio notices and he spins around and he tries to hit Shin, but then all of a sudden, Shin ducks underneath the leg and hits a button on this machine, and it causes all the metal in the room to get attracted to this brain scan thing. I don't know what this machine is called, but he gets pulled in because a whole bunch of IV poles get wrapped around him, and he gets pulled towards the center. I can't move. Is this some kind of magnet? It's an MRI machine. MRI! There it is! Thank you, Sakamoto Days. Hio, please. I need you to tell me everything you know about X. I have to protect my family. And Hio's just still glaring. And then he thinks to himself, he's asking me for a favor? JAA laws prohibit sharing classified information with outsiders. But if I were you, I'd look in the JCC data bank. And then Sakamoto goes, thank you, and proceeds to leave the room, and Hio goes, what about your info? And then it cuts to Nagumo, who's just there going, you're too gullible, Hio. It always gets you in trouble. Shut up. Sorry for the disturbance.
Oh, that's all right.
And it shows that Hio literally is saying sorry for the disturbance, and he's still connected to this MRI machine, and he just takes the entire MRI machine. He just takes the entire thing with him because he can't physically get out of it. Because it's still attached to him with all the IV poles and everything. And Nagumo just adds fuel to the fire going, that's quite the accessory. Shut up or I'll kill you. Then it cuts to a rooftop with Shin and Sakamoto.
Well, I didn't realize there were softies like him in the order.
He's always been kind-hearted. And then Sakamoto is looking at the gift basket that Shin brought for him.
Oh, this is... It was supposed to be a get-well-soon gift, but I didn't get a chance to give it to you.
What for?
Well, I was nothing but a burden to you at the JAA. I'm ashamed to show my face.
At the JAA, when X brought up my daughter, I almost lost my mind. You brought me back to my senses. You're always saving me. I still need your help. And then he just lets Shin know, like, dude, you're helping me out more than you realize. And then oh, man, I got duped. I thought he was actually saying this to Shin, but it's literally something he's saying in his head. At the last minute, I didn't notice that he had like the thought bubble. Like he's thinking all these words, and Shin can see it and going, why don't you say that out loud? Anyway, now we have a lead on Slur. Shin, our next stop is the JCC. Whoa, they're going to the JCC? Oh, I like this. Misa like this. I do. Days 56, JCC. And we're back at the JAA. Well, at the JAA agency building.
Mr. Shishiba,
What?
now I understand what you were talking about earlier.
Oh?
How annoying it is when someone messes up your home.
And both Shishiba and Miss Osaragi are drinking, having a drink. They're just like drinking it through straws. Right. Also, this is beyond messed up. They wiped out 40% of the Kanto Bureau. JAA stock is plummeting. Clients are canceling assassinations left and right. This is no joke.
So, what about our bonuses this year?
Not likely.
Don't be so dramatic.
Sounds like management is going to revise JAA regulations a bit. We lost a lot of staff, so we'll have to do some recruiting. You listening? And Miss Osaragi is still sipping on her drink. Anyway, it's about time we get the rest of the gang back here.
The other members of the order?
Yeah. Wonder what Kanaguri and them are up to anyway. I hate that guy.
Be nice now.
Oh, wait. So the members we've seen before, Nagumo, Osaragi, Hio, Shishiba, and Takamura, You mean to tell me that there are more members of the Order? There are more members? I thought it was just them. I thought it was just them. There's more? Kanaguri? Kanaguri in them? But then we cut to a warehouse. A far-off warehouse. Whew. Nerve reconstruction complete. Don't move around too much until your circulation stabilizes. Nerves recover gradually, like a plant sprouting. It'll take some time for the feeling to come back to your fingers. And this is Slur. This is Slur. I'm probably just going to refer to him as Slur, because if Sakamoto refers to him as Slur, then I'll do the same. But it's Slur, and he's getting, stitched back together by Kashiba. And Slur also has like a whole bunch of scars all over his body as well. Awesome. It's really connected. Thank you, Mr. Kashima. You should thank the person who sliced it off. The cut was incredibly clean, so the muscle tissue was still alive. Who on earth did it? Not too many people can get a piece of you. Oh, the person who sliced was Takamura. Oh, wait. No, it's Gaku. Never mind. Sorry. How did I get Gaku mixed up with Slur so easily? I am sorry. But no, this is Kashima working on Gaku, because Gaku is the one who lost the arm. Sorry. That escaped me so much. I should have realized from the earring. But it's Gaku going, awesome. It's really connected. Thank you, Mr. Kashima. You should thank the person who sliced it off. The cut was incredibly clean, so the muscle tissue was still alive. Who on earth did it? Not too many people could get a piece of you. And then Gaku was just thinking about Takamura. And then we have Slur. Don't take it too hard, Gaku. You're probably the first person to make it back alive from a fight with Mr. Takamura. Boss! Your arm's reconnected. That's good. Yeah, but he says he won't fix my ear. Even I have limits. You seem pretty tired. Yes, I'm tired. Our attack on the JAA failed. I never imagined Mr. Takamura would show up. Uda had to come to our rescue in the end. What's the deal with that crazy old geezer? I don't know. Nobody knows how long he's been in the Order, or what he is to the JAA, or even what he's thinking. All that is known about Mr. Takamura is how strong he is. There was a time when I thought he was like Santa or some kind of ghost, a fictional character from the collective imagination. Kinda like the idea that something becomes real if everyone in the world believes it, right? Aha, so he's like the personification of the bloodlust of all the assassins in the world. That would make for a powerful killer. There's sure to be enough energy culled from humanity to bring one person to life. Well, setting aside that kind of occultism, we could hardly expect things to go smoothly once a guy like that's involved. And then he's also thinking of Sakamoto. Not to mention Sakamoto. I sure didn't expect to see you back there. And then we get Gaku, who looks like he's eating a quarter pounder with cheese. I'm going to call it a quarter pounder with cheese, because I feel like eating a quarter pounder with cheese. So what now? Meet up with the others and go on a Japan-wide tour? The JAA has branches all over, right? No, that would be far too risky. The other branches will tighten up their security. We lost Uda. It's time to increase our numbers. You mean recruit from the JAA? Nah, I'd rather go with fresh blood. It's easier to start with a blank canvas than to paint over an existing one. I've already initiated the process. And it cuts to a shot of the city. And then we cut to Sakamoto's. And Shin. By the way, Mr. Sakamoto, I'm fine with going to the JCC to get info on Slur. But to be honest, I don't really know anything about the JCC. And then we have Heisuke who's eating, Pisuke who's eating, and Sakamoto who looks like he's about to eat. And Heisuke goes, huh? And then it shows that Sakamoto has been officially discharged from the hospital. You mean you got your license from by an outside exam? That's amazing!
No.
And then Sakamoto's just casually looking at all the food. Everything has fresh expiration dates. Nagumo must have made a mess in here. Oh, Sakamoto can tell! Sakamoto can tell that something went down in his shop. Because everything is fresh in the store. Also, can we talk about Nagumo's connections to get all this fresh stuff in the store for Sakamoto? Nice. It's nice to have friends in high places. And it has Nagumo going, the floaters fixed everything up. And he's giving like a thumbs up for it. Then we have Lou, Shin, and Heisuke with Lou going,
The JCC is an assassin school, right? Is this it?
Huh? It's an actual website.
and it shows the JCC. Japan Clear Creation or Creators? I'm trying to look through their words, but I can't really make it out. But it says the JCC is Japan's assassin training academy. We cultivate human resources, immediate assets in the killing, a balanced approach to killer education. About our school, this year's entrance exam. I want to see that. I want to see it. I want to see it. Let me see.
JCC Educational Institution. Current enrollment is 1,000 students. Male to female ratio of 8 to 2. 10% of school students graduate and obtain assassin licenses. All students live in dormitories. Faculty consists of a staff of 35. 4-year program. The other 90% quit or die during training.
And Lou just goes,
There's no way I'd go there.
Let's look at the page about graduates.
man, this brings back memories.
Boss, you graduated from the JCC, right? Can't you get in as
As an alumnus? It was, those words were butchering me. I am so sorry, those words were butchering me.
Can't you get in as an alumnus?
No, it's not that easy to get in and out of the JCC. Security is tight.
What?
Then
Then how?
And it's a owl. It's a owie. And everyone is looking at Aoi as she goes,
I found this while cleaning the living room. What is this? I want an explanation. Don't tell me you're thinking about enrolling Hana and turning her into a killer!
and she's holding up a book. Oh, so it is called Japan Clear Creation. For the JCC. And it's showing a whole magazine, JCC, fiscal year 2022. All this at the JCC. Matriculation, general admissions, currently enrolling. You can be an assassin too.
JCC admission exam?
General admissions. Currently enrolling?
No. Wait.
You mean...
And then it shows that Sakamoto and Shin are heading there because Shin is going to be the one who enrolls at the JCC. Okay. And they're already on a plane. But Sakamoto has a shirt that says student on it. Wait, is he trying to enroll or is it? No, it can't be because they'll know who he is. But I think Shin is, they're having Shin enroll. Okay.
Please fasten your seatbelts securely and tightly across your lap. Flight time to our destination is 3 hours. Please notify a flight attendant for use of...
And then it cuts to Sakamoto, it cuts to Shin who goes,
We're applying as students?
it's the safest and surest way.
They'll smell a rat. You're too old.
Don't worry. Look around. And everyone on the plane looks like they don't belong to that looks like they don't belong in school either. They're all like full-size adults. Big, thick necks, broad shoulders, heavy-bodied looking dudes.
The JCC has no age limit.
The exam for transfer students is particularly tough. Some guys train and retest for years before they get in.
Really? But you're a graduate, Mr. Sakamoto. Won't they recognize you?
And my thing is, Shin is being way too loud. I'll wear a disguise.
Is security really that lax?
And then someone is all the way in the back while Shin and Sakamoto are having this discussion. Man, those newbies are so loud. They'll be dead soon.
Wow, those guys look tough. They don't seem nervous at all. Don't whip out now. I've got to make it as an assassin.
And it's this one woman with like a very big jacket on, and she has like very messy hair that's coming down in locks, and she's here as well. Interesting. And that is the end of chapter 57. Onwards. Well, yeah, that was the end of chapter 56. Onwards to chapter 57. And we're still on the plane with Shin going,
So, about this test for transferring into the JCC, what's the level of the applicants?
The transfer test is higher level than the general entrance exam. A lot of the applicants are already pros. You can't let your guard down. Idiots stuffing their faces right before the test. And Sakamoto and Shin are literally just stuffing their faces. Days 57. Have a nice flight. And then we get a tall dude walking up with a headband that says "Kill Baby" on it, which I noticed in the previous chapter. He goes, "Yo, this your first time? Got a lot of energy, huh?
What do you want, dude?
Learn some respect, punk. Here's some advice for you. J. Irk. J. Irk. Jerk. J. Irk. Jerk. Wow, okay. J. Irk, nickname Kill Baby, age 28. 5th attempt. I'm older than this guy, and this dude looks older than me. That's crazy. Here's some advice for you. It's better to test on an empty stomach. A full belly dulls the senses.
There he goes, intimidating the first-timers.
Yup, still a jerk. Only 1 in 40 applicants passes this test, and the test changes each year, so you don't know what'll come up. But if you don't show up in peak condition, you're dead.
Huh, is that so?
And Sakamoto and Shin are just like, yeah, whatever, dude, whatever. And Sakamoto's all like, good soup. And then Kill Baby Jerk decides to stab into Sakamoto's spaghetti and then starts eating this man's food. First of all, you ain't gonna stab your fork into my food and then eat my food in front of me and going, dudes like you are the first to go. I'll do you the honor of watching you die. And then he kicks the rest of his food away. And this spaghetti is lukewarm. This angers me. I hate wasted food. This angers me. I hate wasted food.
Do you want to kill him?
Nah, it wouldn't bring back the spaghetti. And Jerk just walks away laughing. And then this woman who's watching all this go down, she's all like,
how terrible. Those two are first-timers like me. They must already be nervous. Why would he?
And then she starts blushing a little bit, and she goes,
no, this is no time to be worrying about other people. If I lose even a tiny bit of focus, it will lead to my death. I've got to pass and become an assassin.
And then she glances over, and she looks over at Sakamoto and Shin thinking to herself. Mind you, these are internal monologues.
Still, though, I feel bad for them. Good luck, newbies. Bing, boom.
And then we have the flight attendant.
Hello, JCC applicants. Thank you for flying with us. My name is Mizuno. I will now explain the testing protocol. Among this gathering of 360 applicants, there are several undercover test administrators. All of the administrators have special bullets inscribed with the letters JCC. Your challenge is to identify an administrator and steal their bullet.
The administrators are pro-assassins, right? We have to go up against them? And then someone with like a face mask goes, question, can we kill them when we steal the bullet?
Of course, if you are able, that is.
And then it cuts to Sakamoto, Shin, this mysterious woman, and the dude with the face mask.
All right, everyone. Have a nice flight.
And then, instead of it being oxygen masks that fall through the roof in front of all of the passengers, it's weapons. I see an AK, I see an AR, I see a handgun, I see knives, I see spiked bats, I see a lot of automatic weapons, semi-automatics. I see a ton of different weapons for everyone to use. Oh, and this surprises Shin.
It's starting now.
And then it cuts to Sakamoto, and then a person has a knife in his hand as he goes, uh-oh. And then everyone just starts opening fire everyone just starts opening fire and fighting in the middle of this plane. Bruh, y'all are high up. Do y'all know what'll happen if one of those bullets hits a window? They just start fighting and shooting at each other inside of this plane. Is the inside of this plane bulletproof or something? But they just start going nuts. It's a battle royale in the plane. And then it cuts to some kids down on the ground going,
Oh, an airplane. Bye-bye.
and it immediately cuts to someone getting shot directly in the head. Liar. Stop! I'm an applicant!
Weapons are distributed randomly. It is your job to make optimal use of them.
I see tonfas. I see... What else do I see? I see... Is that a frying pan? What sort of weapon is that? Is that a... No, that's not a normal weapon. It looks like a racket, but with a very long handle. Is that just like... What sort of weapon is that? Am I looking at this right? What sort of weapon is that looks like a racket? But then it cuts to Jerk as he goes, You gotta be kidding. I want a different weapon. How am I supposed to fight with this? And Jerk has a knife. Jerk has a spatula. Okay, so I'm not crazy. So that actually might be a racket that's in that person's hand. I thought I was crazy there for a moment, but no. Jerk walks up and goes, You gotta be kidding. I want a different weapon. How am I supposed to fight with this? And then flight attendant Mizuno hits Jerk on the arm, causing the spatula to flip. She immediately catches it and then proceeds to kill him by slicing him through the throat with the spatula. Well, Jerk didn't live very long.
The ability to adapt to any circumstance is imperative to an assassin.
And it shows that she also happens to be an administrator because she has 3 bullets on a necklace that she's wearing. And then it cuts to the guy with the face mask who's being fired upon by someone with an automatic weapon, and he jumps over this person, lands on their shoulder, and then aims a gun at him and just proceeds to one-shot him immediately. Not this one either. 3 down. And then he takes some disinfectant and sprays it on his hands. Yuck. Then it cuts to one of the other applicants who has like scars on his face, but he's also wearing glasses. As he's thinking to himself, I bet they hire JCC instructors and upperclassmen as test administrators, probably in their mid to late 20s. If I observe how they move, I can zero in on my targets. And then it cuts to one person who's just hiding up in the baggage compartment going, Morons. Why jump right in a battle? I'll be smart about it and bide my time until most are dead, and then snatch a bullet from whoever's left. Then we cut to Shin, who's being, assaulted by a person with like a whole sword, as he goes, "Ugh, missed." And then Shin goes,
Are you an administrator?
no.
Fine. Dang it. There's so many of them. It's hard to read their thoughts. My head hurts.
And he leaves the guy with massive lumps on his head, unconscious in a chair. Because, Sakamoto and his crew, they do not believe in killing other people. Or at least not anymore. And then it cuts to the lady, cuts to the woman with the messy hair. She goes,
What, let's see. How do I use this thing?
"Oh, yeah! An easy target with a great weapon!" And then she immediately starts opening fire in the direction of all these people who are trying to assault her. I don't think she has full control over this weapon.
Sorry! I didn't mean to!
Have mercy! Ah! And then she's looking. And then we just see that Sakamoto has not left his chair at all. He has not left his chair. And the only thing that's in front of Sakamoto is a pen. And he takes it and he just clicks it open.
Wasn't that the guy who... A ballpoint pen? What a cruddy weapon, poor guy. That noobie's a gunner.
If only she knew. And she's looking, and then she gets a more serious face and she goes,
This is no time to be worrying about other people.
And she proceeds to watch Sakamoto just jab into this guy multiple times in an instant with a pen.
Huh?
And everyone zooms in and pays attention to Sakamoto. This is a good pen.
Who is this guy?
And that's the end of chapter 57. Onwards to chapter 58. Ooh, I gotta say, I'm kind of enjoying this airplane massacre all of a sudden. Days 58. Newbies. And it cuts to Sakamoto, who doesn't have a single mark on him.
Who is this guy?
And it shows this lady, it shows Shin, it shows the other applicants. And one dude in the background goes, "Hey now, Porky there's too good. They're test admins. They gotta be."
What? That fatty? Hand over those bullets!
What?
And it cuts to Sakamoto. It cuts to Sakamoto and the woman. And it looks like one dude has a gun and he's preparing to shoot them. But Sakamoto seeing this and the girl is behind him. He takes his pen and just flicks it past her. And it goes and hits a baggage compartment up above the guy with the gun. And it opens up and the guy gets hit in his head immediately by a suitcase. And even though the guy fires, Sakamoto easily dodges out of the way. And then Sakamoto is directly in front of the gun barrel and proceeds to not only snap the gun barrel and break it completely, but he also bodies the guy that shot the gun. And Sakamoto is standing amongst a whole string of corpses from everyone else who was killed during this whole airplane massacre. And he just tosses apart the part of the gun that was still in his hand.
Thank you for saving me.
Got him.
Huh?
This guy's a test admin. So the one who said, like, these guys are too good, they're test admins. It was a wild goose chase. It was a red herring because he was actually the test admin saying all that stuff.
I had no idea. Also, those attacks. You fight like veteran warrior.
Should have been more subtle.
You're amazing. I'm so impressed. As a fellow newbie, I have so much respect for you.
And this woman starts shaking Sakamoto's hand profusely. Huh?
Watching you gave me courage. Yeah, I'm gonna try my best too.
Oh yeah? Good luck. And he takes one of the bullets and gives it to her.
Huh?
I don't need 3. Where'd he go anyway? And he's looking for Shin.
Huh? No, I can't accept this.
And she tries to give the bullet back.
I have a role model I admire. If they were in my place, I don't think they'd take that. We're similar, but also different. See, I'm little. My parents say I'd make a better housekeeper than assassin.
You won't know if you don't try.
Well, you just proved that size doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
Because he almost takes it as like, and he holds his stomach as of like, is it because I'm fat? Is it because I'm fat? Is that it? Yo, Shoto! Hey man, are you ready for the last chapter of MHA? Yes and no. Firstly, Shoto, it's good to see you here. Glad to have you here. We are currently on chapters 58 of Sakamoto Days. It goes up to 61 for this volume, so I would dare say that I am almost done. I've been able to get through these chapters relatively quickly, and I've been enjoying every single one of them. But I have to say yes and no. I am not... yes, I'm prepared for the final chapter of My Hero, and no, I'm not prepared for the final chapter of My Hero. This is a story I've dedicated 5 years of my life to, reading for you guys, and basically just entertaining this story as a whole. 5 years. You know how long 5 years is? 5 years. Years are long. So, I'm both prepared and not prepared for it. So, yeah. But back to Sakamoto Days.
Well, you just proved that size doesn't matter. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I'm sorry.
And then it just cuts to shots around the airplane where there's so many dead people, and we are currently in business class. And the dude with the face mask is currently strangling Mizuno. You know, the administrator that killed Jerk easily. She's currently being held by the throat with the dude with the face mask going, what a wimp. Is this the best you JCC teachers can do? Piece of cake. I'm sorry? That's Seba? You mean Seba from the underground laboratory? Seba that had the invisibility suit? He's here? That's Seba. Oh, great. Oh, great. Oh, great. And Shin is here, too. Oh, this is going to be interesting.
Mafuyu Seba. Applicant number 4. Nice work.
I can kill you for these. That's what you said, right? And then all of a sudden, Shin comes in and proceeds to kick this very same arm, kick towards Seba in order to make him drop Mizuno and block the kick from Shin. Ugh. Stay out of this, old dude.
What? Who's an old dude, you jerk? I'm only 21!
Well, I'm 14. And 21's totally old. Hold on. Seba is 14? What? Then again, we really didn't... Wait, not same person? Not same person? Not same person? Sorry. Okay. It's not the same person. Sorry. I saw Seba. Okay. I saw Seba and I got scared. Okay. Thank you, Calzone. Thank you for the correction. Okay. Thank you for the correction.
I'm only 21!
Well, I'm 14. And 21's totally old. But don't say any more. Don't say any more about who this is. Don't say any more. I'll find out more. Because if this is not the same Seba from the underground laboratory, then it might be somebody else. And I'll find out when the story tells me, so don't tell me. And 21's totally old. And then Mafuyu moves towards Shin, who immediately ducks out of the way, only for Mafuyu to aim a gun at Shin, which he dodges and jumps away from. And then blood splatters on his face from Shin.
This guy's experienced in battle.
Oh no. I just can't. So filthy. And he got blood on his face. I don't believe this. This is harassment. For real.
What are you, some kind of clean freak? Why'd you even come here?
I never wanted to take this stupid transfer test. If my idiot brother hadn't given me the flu right before the regular test. I bet everyone's already settled into friend groups and stuff. This sucks. Brother? If my brother hadn't given me the flu right before the regular test, I bet everyone's already settled into friend groups and stuff. This sucks. And he's just spraying his whole body down with, like, disinfectant.
What's with this weirdly confident germaphobe?
Sheesh. I hate getting dirty. It's the worst. I like to be clean. And he starts to pull on this little latch that is on his shoe. And blades come out of the back of his shoes. I hate getting my hands dirty.
Hidden weapons?
And then, just like literal seconds before he can fully process this thought, Mafuyu is flying towards Shin with his foot forward in order to try and slice through Shin, and he slices through a good portion of business class with these blade shoes. These are some deadly form of Heelys, I'm telling you that much. He's fast! And Shin tries to shoot at him, but Mafuyu blocks it with the blades on his shoes. Never heard of Sakamoto days, by the way? I never heard of it myself earlier on, but people were telling me about it. My buddy Gajil was telling me about it. Some other people were telling me about it. But think John Wick if John Wick became a family man and decided to raise a family instead of being an assassin. But he is also the world's greatest assassin. Think that. That's pretty much what this is. And Sakamoto is basically the Saitama of this entire story. But Shin shoots at Mafuyu, and Mafuyu blocks it with, like, the blades on his feet. The amount of coordination you have to have in order to... See, it's... This story is making me think so many different things. It's commonplace to see people blocking bullets with just their bodies, or their hands, or even blades with their hands, with their upper bodies. But it's something else entirely when you have someone blocking bullets using their feet or using blades that are in their shoes. That amount of coordination and trust in yourself to aim yourself properly with your legs to block all this stuff, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. And I read a bunch of manga where crazy stuff happens all the time. He's fast! Shoots at him. Mafuyu blocks it. That was close. Jerk. Die! And then it cuts to Shin, who starts using that same enhanced, like, flow state of his that he used against Saw way back when. And he sees all these moves that Mafuyu is about to launch at him.
I can't always be a burden to Mr. Sakamoto.
And then Shin, reading his movements, proceeds to just pepper this dude with solid hits. Did he just totally read my moves?
Sorry, dude. There's someone I have to catch up to.
And then Shin just presses his watch, and that's the end of chapter 58. Onwards to chapter 59! It sounds interesting. It really is. It is Shoto. If you don't have any other manga that you have in your mind to read after My Hero is over, Sakamoto Days is a good one. Thus far, I've been following this story for the past couple of Mondays now. I know we're all the way in the hundreds for the chapters itself. But it's very good thus far. And there's plenty of people for me to do voices for. You're good at doing the voice impressions? Well, thank you. I feel like with my dramatic readings, it enhances the story. It's like the manga is a piece of meat, and my voice when I'm reading it for my sessions is like me just putting the seasoning over it and letting it marinate just a little bit. Makes the meat taste a lot better, you know? But that was the end of chapter 59. Chapter 58. Onwards to chapter 59.
Mr. Sakamoto, when we take the transfer exam,
And this is back in time.
when we take the transfer exam, please don't help me.
Why?
I want to test my own abilities without depending on you.
Fine, but don't fail.
I won't fail! Just watch!
And then we cut back to the present day.
Just you wait. I'll pass at the top of the class.
Days 59. Cut! And then we have Mafuyu after getting, kind of peppered by Shin here. Huh? What just happened? He totally read my moves. Was it a coincidence? It must be.
What's wrong? Hurry up and come at me.
And then Mafuyu rushes him, and Shin easily dodges. He keeps evading. What's his deal? And then Shin fires towards Mafuyu, and Mafuyu jumps away. Now he's counterattacking. Well then. And then it cuts to Mafuyu, who proceeds to go just buck wild on the entire area that they're in, slicing apart the entire inside of the plane. How are the walls and lining of the plane surviving all of this chaos? How has the plane not ruptured from a stray bullet hole going through a window or a cut going through a wall and caused a rupture in the cabin? How has that not happened yet? What is this plane made of? But we got some other participants, because remember, not every single person is dead during this entrance exam. But there you got people who are just barely missing getting cut by the blades of Mafuyu. Yikes! Watch out! And then Mafuyu goes for him. No matter how sharp his intuition, if I can catch him, it won't matter. And it cuts to... It cuts to Shin hitting him directly, because it's when he goes, it's because Shin kicked him directly in the chest. And he caught his leg. If I can catch him, it won't matter. And he goes to try and slice Shin directly in his face since he's so close. And Shin just easily catches the leg and goes,
good idea, but I hear you loud and clear.
And he takes the gun he was using to shoot at him with, flips it over, and then proceeds to just pistol whip one of the blades directly off of his shoe. Much to Mafuyu's shock. I was thinking if you would go to conventions to do the voice impressions to the VAs, that would be cool. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. And Shin proceeds to pin Mafuyu to the ground.
Give me those bullets.
Ouch. Ugh. What a pain. Yeah, go on and kill me, Gramps.
I wouldn't kill someone for a
Yep, there it is.
I wouldn't kill someone for a stupid test. Plus, you're only 14, right? I'm not into killing kids.
And then Mafuyu just starts crying. This isn't like a thought. This isn't like a thought he has in his head. This is him actually crying. Even though you're older than me, you're still immature. Anyone can see that. And then Shin was all like, huh?
You're crying?
Shut up, jerk. You better pay me back for my weapons. And he starts sniffing. The dude is he for real? I failed.
What a pain. Are all kids like this nowadays?
Yes, especially when their teacher is Twitter instead of their parents.
No, come on. It's nothing to cry about.
Huh?
You've got great talent for a 14-year-old.
Talent? I do get that a lot.
I want to smack this guy. If you fail this test, you can always just take the license test.
I don't care about a license. I just want to go to the JCC. I've got to make lots of connections at the JCC to get into the order. Wait, what? It's not about him getting a license, it's about him making connections so he can get into the order?
You know about the order?
And then that same dude that was hiding in the baggage compartment, he suddenly pops out. He suddenly pops out and goes, I was waiting for this moment. Huh? And he goes and he grabs, he proceeds to snatch something. I think he proceeds to snatch one of the bullets from Mafuyu. Huh? Oh!
Now that's what I call hyena technique. Drop dead, morons.
And then there's a glint from the bullets he's just stolen because, yeah, as you guys know, they need them to pass. And Shin immediately beats the dude up. For taking the bullets. Pap, 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 just directly in the neck.
If you want to get into the order, you don't need connections.
Huh?
What you really need in that world are just incredible abilities.
And he's thinking back to every single person from the order whose abilities he's seen. The capabilities of Nagumo, the full strength of Sakamoto, the power of Hyo, and the incredible swordsmanship of Old Man Takamura.
Me too. I've got to.
Why?
Here.
And Shin just tosses him an entrance bullet. Huh?
All you need is one bullet to pass. See ya.
Hey, wait a minute.
That's okay, you don't have to thank me.
This one's dirty, it's got blood on it. Trade me for another.
Dude, you need to work on your personality!
Dude is still a germaphobe. He doesn't want to carry around a bloody bullet. Come on, I had them first.
Okay, fine. Happy now?
Shin, 2 bullets. Mafuyu, 1 bullet. Then we cut back to economy class, where where the people are still fighting in economy class. I believe business class has been completely decimated by Mafuyu and then by Shin, but now we're back in the economy class, where everyone is still fighting. Then we have that one woman that was saved by Sakamoto. She's going,
Phew. Uh-oh. It's already been 30 minutes. I still don't have a bullet. If I don't do something...
And then Sakamoto just taps her on the shoulder. Who taught you to use a gun?
Ah! I'm sorry!
And Sakamoto's just eating in the middle of this bloodbath.
I'm sorry! I'm really bad with guns! A relative taught me a little on how to use them, but...
Let me see that. Lean forward when you shoot. For more stability, round your back a little. Use your shoulder to hold it steady.
And then Sakamoto proceeds to fire, and he breaks every single gun that he's aiming at. He snaps one gun out of a dude's hand. He destroys the scope of a rifle that someone was using. Oh! Yeah!
Just use your wrist along the handguard. Here.
Huh? That's amazing! That was so clear! It's hard to believe you're a newbie too.
I once taught a kid about your age how to shoot.
Wow!
And this is Sakamoto teaching Shin. Kill them!
Come to think of it, I didn't get your name.
Taro.
I'm Akira.
Oh, so we have Akira! Akira!
Pleased to meet you, Taro.
Then we cut back to first class. Wait. Economy class, business class, first class. We just saw everything go down in business class with Mafuyu and Shin. Sakamoto and Akira are in economy class. Who's in first class? Who's in first class? Huh? Whose gun did I just hear? Say a good shooter. That jerk! Nice. Nice and easy. Yes, that's good. Those expressions are great. The scene is an assassin test. Test takers engaging wholeheartedly in their art. Life and death hang in the balance. More powerful, more real. We want to really move our audience. Now just a sprinkle of hope. And this person who's recording all of this, he drops an admission bullet he drops an admission bullet in a crowd. Yeah! And they all just start, and all the participants start scrambling for it. Yeah! It's mine! Right there! And cut! And this person who's recording this, who's like a big old film director, acting like a big old film director, he beheads every single person that tried to build. He beheads every single person that tries to get the bullet with, like, the, what do you call that? What is that called? You see it all the time. It's that, like, what is that object called? I need to look this up, because for the life of me, I have never heard of it. Ah, it's called a clapboard. Clapboard! I am 32 years old. I never knew that. Clapperboard. Clapperboard, I think. Yeah, it's called a clapperboard. I never knew the name of one of those things. All my life, I never knew what that was called. But this dude has a clapperboard, and he slices every single person's head off that went for the bullet. And a cut! So much despair. It's like that movie, Funny Games. And this dude looks like he belongs in JoJo. This dude looks like he belongs in JoJo. So much despair. It's like that movie, Funny Games. I'm so glad I applied to serve as a test admin. Test administrator, plus movie director, plus this is Kanaguri? This is the Kanaguri that Shishiba was talking about. Not only is he a test admin, but he's also a member of the Order. It's no wonder everyone's dead. It's no wonder everyone's dead here in first class. It's like that movie, Funny Games. I'm so glad I applied to serve as a test admin. I think I can score some great footage. Some great footage. And it shows Mafuyu and Shin and Akira and Sakamoto. Bruh, you mean to tell me the test admin that's on, one of the test admins that's on this plane is a member of the Order? Kanaguri? I got questions. That's the end of chapter 59, onwards to 60, and then 61 after that, and then we're done with volume 7. Ain't no way. Sakamoto Days, day 60, Kanaguri. Woo! I'm so glad I applied to serve as a test admin. I think I can score some great footage. And then we have someone talking over the intercom, and I think it's the captain. Attention all test takers. Out of 360 participants, 297 are now out of commission, while 63 applicants remain. Time until destination, approximately 30 minutes. Please enjoy your flight. And then he's talking with his co-captain going, what do you make of this year's test? Oh wait, his co-pilot goes, what do you make of this year's test? What do I make of it? It's a disaster. We've never seen more than half of the test admins get taken out. Of course, that's hardly our concern as pilots. And then we cut back to Shin with Mafuyu. Hey, Shin!
Quit following me!
Why are you taking the transfer test?
None of your business.
And it cuts to someone recording them with a camera. Oh, great, it's Kanaguri.
Kiddies, rookies from the look of it. Why have they chosen the path of an assassin at such a tender age? Beautiful. Now a slow zoom. Good. Hey, smoother one! Smoother now! Don't rock the camera, dolly!
And Mafuyu and Shin notice that they're being recorded. Because Kanaguri has beaten up one of the participants to roll him on like an actual dolly so he can get the rolling shot.
And cut! Excellent expressions.
Good work. And Kanaguri tosses a bullet to the participant who's badly beaten up and face is swollen in several places and bleeding all over. He tosses the bullet towards him. Yeah! A test admin.
Huh? Wait, is that who I think it is? Kanaguri, the movie director?
Oh, you know who I am, young man? Who?
You've never heard of him? He's the director, screenwriter, cameraman, producer, and founder of murder films. He's got ardent fans worldwide for his peerless cinematography and vividly realistic portrayals of the assassin world. He's known as the pioneer of assassin movies.
I think Shin may be a bit of a fan. Ew, yuck, stop! You're spitting on me! So, what's some famous movie director doing here?
What does it look like I'm doing? Shooting a movie. As it happens, I had some business with this transfer test.
Hey, jerk, I didn't give you consent to film me.
Dude! Don't mind the camera. I just want the natural you.
Did you hear me?
What's the problem? I'm offering you the opportunity to be in my movie.
What a drag. Whatever, come on, Shin. Forget this stupid movie stuff. And that's when Kanaguri's eyes start to get really attentive. Mafuyu! He's a member of the Order, and every single person who is in the Order has some sort of particularity. There are so many people in this story who are very particular about things. Why, you cannot tell. He's an assassin who is also a filmmaker who does all of his own stuff. You can't just blatantly say, forget this stupid movie stuff. You can't say that in front of a dude who's also an assassin! Whatever, come on, Shin. Forget this stupid movie stuff.
What did you say?
Movies are long and loud, and you can't fast forward. Aren't YouTube videos way better? I can't believe there's a YouTube reference. in my Sakamoto story. Aren't YouTube videos way better? Especially from that one dude named Kyushu92. I hear that he's an up-and-coming YouTuber. You might want to check him out and subscribe to him. I hear he's pretty good. Aren't YouTube videos way better? Plus, if you want to know what a movie's about, you can just Google it.
Listen, you.
Wait. I'll kill anyone who insults movies.
And he gets a really detailed face. And then it shows Kanaguri launching at Shin and Mafuyu. Mafuyu, you didn't have to say all that, especially to a person who's a filmmaker. But he's already bearing down on Shin and Mafuyu. Get back! And in an instant, Shin can read his movements, but Kanaguri is just way too fast.
He's fast, but if I can read his movements...
And while he's trying to anticipate what Kanaguri's gonna do, whoo, ain't no way, y'all just took, ain't no way. What's another series where a person is moving at a high speed, and even though this person, see, the first thing I get is thinking of Justice League's moment where Superman is contending with the rest of the league and Flash decides to run up behind him, and Superman, even though Flash is moving at a faster speed where everything's slowed down around him, Superman can see him moving and looks at him. Yeah, Kanaguri, he moves his eye in direction of Shin and looks at him even while Shin is reading his movements and anticipating it.
What? The movements I read are predetermined. Then how is he changing the future?
And Kanaguri is already behind Shin, who is trying to figure out how Kanaguri managed to look at it. Because here's the thing. This state of mind for Shin allows him to fully read into the movements of an individual of what they're about to do. And Kanaguri looked directly at Shin as if he was looking at him in real time, which is something that no one else has done towards Shin at all. So it's like, I know you're looking directly at me. And then he's right behind Shin. But something goes flying in between them before Kanaguri can use his clapperboard to, kill them as well. Huh?
Mr. Sakamoto!
Toto, please don't suddenly move my barrel.
Sorry.
What if I hit someone?
And then Kanaguri looks, and then he's just overtaken by what he's just witnessed.
Beautiful. That smooth silhouette. A gentle energy out of place amongst the carnage. And that lovely round quality. I found you, my ideal protagonist.
Watch with him.
Is he a creep?
It's decided. You're my star.
And Kanaguri is already behind Sakamoto and Akira. Like, already behind them, and he has his hand on Akira. Like, apparently she's gonna be his protagonist.
What?
And then Sakamoto spins around to try and jab into Kanaguri, and Kanaguri is already behind Shin and Sakamoto with a far-off distance, still holding on to Akira. This dude moves. This dude is fast, much to the surprise of Sakamoto.
Movies are all about seizing the moment. I need to open with something powerful, something compelling.
And he is holding all of their bullets. Not only did he take Akira, move fast enough where even Sakamoto couldn't hit him, but he also stole all of the bullets that they needed in order to pass this test.
I need to open with something powerful, something compelling.
Huh? And everyone is checking their pockets because they just got robbed.
I've got it!
And Kanaguri takes a gun out and he shoots towards Sakamoto. And it goes right past him. Kind of scrapes him a little bit. He done shot the pilot! Kanaguri done shot the pilot! Okay, do you realize how accurate you have to be to fire a gun and hit the pilot dead center in the forehead? But Kanaguri shoots. And I half expected him to shoot towards the back of the plane to make something explode so that the back of the plane could just explode and everyone starts to fly out the back, but no. He done shot the pilot through the cabin. The pilot's head just lurches forward and smashes onto the control screen while his co-pilot goes, huh? And then the plane starts to take a major nosedive. Ah! No! Roll film! And Kanaguri just killed the pilot to make a more action-packed film in this moment. And everyone is screaming as the plane starts to plummet. And then Akira is hanging on to Sakamoto's face.
Sorry!
And then Shin kind of accidentally gets kicked in the face by Mafuyu. Oops, sorry.
Ah! Oh? Blander than I hoped.
Boring! Scrap that! And he's looking at everyone. He's looking at everyone everyone is like tumbling through the air as his plane is starting to plummet, and Kanaguri is just, somersaulting through the air, just analyzing the entire screen.
Blander than I hoped. Boring! Scrap that. Audiences will walk out.
And he grabs like a big old movie camera out of a chest in the plane.
What now? Ready? Action!
And he says this as this light starts to build up at the front of his camera. This Joker better not have like this better not be a laser camera. I don't know what type of weapon that was, but the camera blows a hole into the plane. Like a big... I was just talking about, like, are these assassins okay with using guns inside of this plane? Because anything could happen where it could cause a hole to rupture and then everyone would just get sucked outside. Did I call this? Did I call this? He takes this big, like, news anchor cameraman camera, and then it just blows a hole in the side of the plane. Now listen up, all you assassins! This is a movie! And people start flying out of the plane. And that's the end of chapter 60. Onwards to the last chapter of this volume. What in the world am I reading? What in the world am I reading? Last chapter for this volume. Day 61. Pretty decent. And everyone's falling out of this plane. Yeah, wait, where are they? Yeah, everyone is falling out of this plane. Now listen up, all you assassins! This is a movie! And Sakamoto's falling through the air. Everyone is just falling through the air, just screaming. Everyone's just falling through the air, screaming. That cleared up the throat a little bit. Gotta do that more often. But then someone with a parachute goes, now what? Everyone's dead. Who's responsible for this? Me? Head test administrator, Usami. That's why I was against hiring that weirdo. Huh? So this is my fault? And it cuts to another individual that is holding on to Mizuno. He's got like a backwards cap with like some pins attached to it, and he's got a parachute as well.
Good thing we packed parachutes for the admins.
I wonder if I'll get in trouble for this. And this is the dude with the dreadlocks and he has freckles. You don't see characters with dreadlocks and freckles in manga or anime. You really don't. You either see one person have dreadlocks or one person have freckles, but never a mix of the two. Interesting design. I like it. I wonder if I'll get in trouble for this. Anyone want to take the fall for me?
Don't worry, Mr. Usami. I have an idea. Let's just call this part 2 of the test.
Misato. That's genius. Attention test takers. And Usami takes out like a megaphone and goes, attention test takers. Starting now, just as we planned, is part 2 of the test. To pass, you must possess at least one bullet and land safely.
What?
And then it cuts to one participant who's a test admin Noto. I never heard anything about this. And I don't have a parachute.
This was definitely not planned!
Oh, this stinks! Why is this year's test so unusual? And then we have one person with scars on his face and glasses. Oh, this is the same dude that was analyzing the situation the whole time, but he doesn't have his jacket on anymore. Quit yelling, you morons.
What?
In the past decade, 15 people have survived airplane accidents without parachutes. Based on our flight route and the fact that there's plenty of oxygen to breathe, we're approximately 20,000 feet up, falling up at approximately 120 miles per hour. We have about 2 minutes remaining. Please try to go for water, but it has low compressibility. From this altitude, people try to go for water, but it has less compressibility. From this altitude, it'll be like hitting concrete. I'm gonna die! This sucks! And this is Mafuyu. And this is Shin going, quit crying! Sakamoto is silent while Akira is just holding on for dear life. And then it cuts back to Kaneguri, who's just up top watching all this unfold. Beautiful. A true life or death situation. Extreme realism. Our protagonist faces a sudden calamity. How will they overcome this crisis? Yes! This is incredible! I like this voice I'm giving for Kanaguri. I'm pretty sure even if they do get this far in the anime, this probably won't be the English voice for him, but it's going to be the voice that I give for him. Yes! This is incredible! And then Sakamoto breathes out he breathes out a breath of air, because I guess he had like air in his cheeks, and he breathes out, and that causes him to go higher into the air. It propels him higher into... This dude is Saitama of the assassin world. He just breathes in and then expels this breath, and that sends him straight towards Kanaguri. Much to his surprise. Got him back. And wow! And it shows Sakamoto took the bullets back for him, Akira, and Shin to pass. Well. A fine supporting character.
Mr. Sakamoto! Forget that idiot! We gotta figure out how to land!
But even if we stick the landing, without the bullets, we'll fail the test.
And then Akira is just watching Sakamoto.
Who is this guy? While everyone is panicking, he's thinking about what comes after.
Don't worry, Shin. I thought something like this might happen. I brought an apron.
You brought an apron. You brought an apron. And then Shin goes,
oh, right, we can use it as a parachute.
And then Sakamoto is holding onto his apron, but he looks like he's falling faster.
Mr. Sakamoto! Taro doesn't give up. Watching him gives me courage. I won't give up either. I just have to use every skill in my toolkit. So, what are my skills? Laundry? Cleaning? Sewing? Shoot, I'm good at housekeeping stuff.
And Akira thinks back to what someone said to her. Sorry, Akira, but could you fix my button?
Again?
You'll make a great housewife, Akira. Forget this assassin stuff. And then she pops back to reality.
I've got to do this. Everyone, take off your clothes right now.
And this is a surprise. This is a surprise for both Sakamoto and Shin.
There's no time to explain, just...
And they don't waste any time. They just go with it. And Sakamoto goes, thanks.
I'm in.
What for? I'm cold.
Hurry up and take them off.
And then another person goes, here. And the dude takes all of his clothes off, and he's just falling through the air naked. And Akira goes, no, wait. Is that Akira? Oh, wait, that's actually Shin who says, hurry up and take them off! Here!
Too much, dude. Also, who are you?
Okay, sorry, I had to correct myself. It wasn't Akira who's saying, like, hurry up and take... Hold on, give it a sec. Yeah, it wasn't Akira who was saying hurry up and take them off. It was Shin. Thanks.
I'm in.
What for? I'm cold.
Hurry up and take them off.
Here.
Too much, dude. Also, who are you? I'm pretty decent at sewing.
And it shows Akira as she rapidly starts to sew all of these clothes together. Much to everyone's shock. Wow, kill baby? What? Jerk? He's still alive? He got sliced in the throat with a spatula, though. How is he still alive? That's Jerk. How is he still alive? But Akira pretty much made like a makeshift parachute. A makeshift parachute out of everyone's clothes.
Done! Whoa! This is slowing us down a lot, but hold on to the edges.
Ah! The ocean! Ah! The ocean!
It can't be helped. Feet first, everyone!
And then everyone prepares to hit the water all of a sudden, and they land with a massive splash.
Yes,
And it shows Akira in the water.
yes, I'm alive, but what now? I can't swim. Oh, that effort.
And then someone proceeds to grab her with extreme force, and it cuts to Sakamoto, Shin, Mafuyu, and surprisingly Jerk as they make their way to the beach with Sakamoto holding on to Akira.
Whew. I thought we were goners.
My shoes are all full of water. This sucks. I want to go home. And this is Jerk, who's like, still alive. Let's kill that director guy.
I'm never watching his movies again.
And then it cuts to Akira and Sakamoto, and there's a bullet laying in the sand.
Why don't you take it?
Huh? Oh, but
There's no question this time. You earned that bullet yourself. Close enough, anyway.
Right. Yay, now I can pass part 2 of the test.
I have one too.
I have one too. I don't have one, but I'm glad to be alive. And then Sakamoto notices, like, the parachute.
What's up, Mr. Sakamoto?
These seams. This is outstanding needlework. This much under these circumstances and at this speed. What's the deal with this girl?
Where even Sakamoto's all like, there's something about this girl. What's up with Akira? For her to do this perfect needlework while falling through the air that saved all of their lives while it was a life or death situation and she came through? What's the deal with Akira? One may wonder. But the last panel we get is just Akira holding her bullet and smiling at Sakamoto and company. To be continued. That is the final chapter for today's reading, ladies and gentlemen. Bruh, Gajio was right. Sakamoto Days does indeed get crazy. And mind you, let me see how many chapters there are currently of this, because I know it's still in the hundreds. I know for a fact that I'll be able to catch up with the series fairly quickly. It's at 176 chapters right now. Currently at 176. So if I keep this up and I keep going from volume to volume to volume to volume to volume, I should be able to catch up very soon and still be able to before it even gets to the hundreds, I would say. Yeah, before it even gets to the hundreds, I feel like I'll be able to fully catch up. But this was a very good volume. I love this volume. We saw more of the Order members and how strong they are, Takamoto and company. But now we're going to the JCC, and the entrance exam is a killer, pun intended. I can't wait to see what happens next, and also I want to find out more about Akira as time goes on. But I'm done for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for stopping by today's reading of Sakamoto Days. It is such an honor and privilege to be your entertainer, where I get to read these sort of stories for all of you and entertain you with my voices as a whole. So, with that being said, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!